Yeah.
So after he has finished his comments, then we'll come back to Q&A.
So I know, thanks Sesh. I know that you are all keen to get to Q&A and your questions. So at the outset, let me repeat the point that Sesh made, that management and board, Sesh, you had once used the phrase birds of passage. We are custodians of this institution, and this is a responsibility that we take incredibly seriously. While the management's primary responsibility is the performance of the business, the strategy and the execution of the business, and the board's is governance, as Sesh said. Nonetheless, let me say a couple of things about culture. As most of you who have followed us for the last 2.5 years know, the strategy that I have laid out for Infosys has 3 parts: renew, new, and culture. The culture is the fabric on which the company sits. My very first meeting, introduction meeting, with Mr. Murthy, with Chris, with Mr. Kamath, and Sesh was also there in Delhi in the guest house in early June of 2014. The first session that Mr. Murthy started was on culture, on the history of the company and what our values were. That is how important it is in the company. I left India when I was barely out of being a teenager, and I came of age outside this country. So when I came back here, when I took the responsibility at Infosys, the deep adherence to the corporate governance, the integrity, the being the standard bearer in that front, was one of the key reasons that I came here. So therefore, that responsibility of upholding that tradition is something that we take very, very seriously. So while our focus is on performance, while the management's focus, my and Praveen's focus is on performance, and we have done well in the last 2.5 years, there is a lot that we are proud of from a performance point of view, whether it is revenue growth or upholding the margins or restoring a sense of inspiration and in employees, and as reflected in the attrition numbers, or opening up the new frontiers for the company, or the customer satisfaction. It is really the values, the cultural foundation that defines who we are in the end, and that is the one that makes us sleep easy or not sleep easy at night. So this is what I want to say. I want to thank all of you, by and large, for a balanced and fair coverage in the last few days. These are, of course, not easy times, and I in particular want to thank the employees, Infosys, for carrying on the business. They both our manager and Praveen and my management team, but also especially the employees on the ground. And I also want to thank the investors who have stood with us, and most importantly, our founders, those who have built this institution that we are now custodians of. It is a responsibility that I take extremely seriously, and I value greatly the advice that I get continuously from all sides.